In this video, we are going to learn about the break and continue keywords of the Java programming. So let's see what's that. So the break and continue keywords are used to stop either the entire loop. Okay. So in that case, you have to use the break to stop the entire loop. And if you just want to stop the current iteration, that means keep the current iteration, then you should use the continue keyword. Okay, let's try to see or understand this with the help of example. So I'm moving to the IDE. In the IDE, I'm creating a new class. The class name is break continue demo. Here in this class, let's have the public static void main method. And here what we are going to do, that we are going to declare the array. We are going to just create a simple application in which we are going to use the break and continue keywords. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, we are going to have the list of number. Let's say that we have some random numbers, let's say like 5, then comma 9, comma 1, comma 3, comma 7, comma 10, comma 25, comma 33, comma then 19, kind of. Okay, so here what we are going to do, that this program will have one array having this random kind of numbers. Okay, and that whenever it will find any odd number, it will just print the square of that number. Okay, and what else we are going to do, we are just going to print the square of the odd number. Okay, spelling mistake, of the odd number, and it will print max 5 squares. Okay, that means that it will go through the array, and wherever it will find the odd number, it will just print the square of that number, and it will keep on doing that. And once it will print total 5 squares, okay, or the first 5 odd numbers, then the program will stop its execution. Okay, so that kind of thing that we want to do over here. Here, let me change this number. I'm going to take this number as an example, so that's why I'm going to change it. Here I'm doing 2, then here let me have 4, kind of. Okay, so let's see that how to write the program. Okay, so here, that the first thing is that we require to declare the array of integer. So array numbers. Okay, and how many numbers that we are going to have? The numbers which we have listed over here. Okay, so I'm just initializing the array over here. Okay, and then obviously that we require to go through all the element of the array, so we are going to use the loop. I'm using the for loop, that is for integer I is equal to 0, I less than number dot length. Okay, and then I plus plus. Okay, now we will go through each and every element of the array. Okay, so here what would be the condition? That condition should be like this, that if the number, given number, okay, so that number could be referred with the help of the square bracket in the array like this with the index value, that numbers I modulus 2, okay, is not equal to 0. Or let me take the first case, that is if it is equal to 0, then what should be done? Then, or let me take the reverse condition so that it would be easy to understand the break and continue. Okay, so nothing to be done. Okay, but if else number, or I'm not going to take this. Okay, so obviously that here I'm not going to write the else, but what other thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the square of that particular number. Okay, so how can I do the square? Okay, just I'm can use the multiplication operator. So S out, okay, and here whatever the number is, the number I multiply by with the same number, so that is nothing but the square of the number. Okay, so number I multiply by number I. Okay, so here what is the issue? The issue is that here what we want, that if the number is not, sorry, this should be equal. Okay, let me do the correction. Yeah, if the number is even, okay, at that time it should not execute this statement, right? Why? Because here we have said that if the number is odd, then do the square, otherwise skip that number. Okay, that is what we want to do. So here we have a condition that if the number is even, okay, this condition will check that whether the given number is even or not. Okay, so if the number is even, then what we will do, we will do the we will skip the rest of the statement in the loop. Okay, so here we have only one statement, and this is the statement that we want to skip. So to skip the remaining or to skip the execution of the remaining statement in the loop, we can use the keyword that is called continue. So this is not going to be executed. This statement is not going to be executed. Okay, so if I run the program, right, and let me show you the output so that you will get idea. So here we should get the square of what? We should get the square of 5, then we should get the square of 1, 7, 25, 33, and 90. So in fact we should get the square 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, total 6 number. So let's run the program and let's see the output. So here you can see that we are getting the total 6 outputs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. As per our condition that we have to print only first 5. Okay. First 5 squares. Okay. So what has happened over here, that we have printed everything. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to take one more variable. Let's say that is integer count, that will keep on tracking that how many squares we have printed. Okay, so it will be started from 0. Okay, and whenever it will do the square, at that time what we will do, we will increment its value by 1, so count plus plus. Okay, now here that we are going to check that if the count is, if the value of count is 5, right, then it should not continue, or it should not execute the for loop anymore. Okay, so here what we have to do, that we are going to suppose if the count value is 5, that means we are done. Okay, and we should break the loop. Okay, so this is how I can break the loop. Okay, so now here we are going to take only first 5 squares, so up to this 1089 we are going to get the square. Okay, so let me run this application and let's see the output. So here you can see we are getting the output of the first 5. Okay, so this is the use of continue and break. Okay, let's go through our application, sorry, the presentation once again. So before going to the presentation, let me tell you that this continue will skip the iteration, that particular iteration, whereas the break will break will help us to come out from the for loop or any other loop. Okay, so that is the difference between the continue and break. Okay, so continue temporarily suspend that particular iteration, whereas the break suspends the entire loop. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. So another one, that continue statement must be inside the loop, otherwise you will get the compilation error. Okay, so here that this continue statement must be inside the for loop. Now why that condition is not there for the break? Because we know that the break is also used for or used with switch case, right? That's why in the switch case is not a loop, right? So that's why that condition is not there for the break, right? Break statement must be used inside either a loop or a switch statement, as we have seen. And the last one is that both the break statement and the continue statement can be labeled or unlabeled. Okay, so let me show you this with the help of example. Okay, so how can I show you that? Okay, so guys, that here this continue and break can be like used with label. Okay, so in the Java it is possible that you can specify the label like this. Okay, here we have a label. Okay, so you can see the label exit is there, right? And inside the label I can write any statement like this. Okay, the label would be having some specific statement. So here I'm just writing s out, and here I'm writing just inside label kind of. Okay, inside label. Okay, and what I can do here, suppose if I want to continue the iteration once again, okay, or I can specify the label with the continue, right? So what I can do, or first let me show you the break. Okay, so how can I specify the label over here? I can specify the label like this, that break exit. Okay, so what it will do, it will go to this particular label that is known as what, exit. Okay, so here we are getting the error. The reason for the error is what, key this label must be before this context of this break, right? So let me just put this exit before that. Okay, but I'm not going to continue with this example, so let me delete with this. Okay, instead of that, what I'm going to do, let me paste these for loops over here, right? So if you see, I don't require this even block for the exit, right? So here you can see that you can specify the break exit. So what does it mean? That ideally what happens, that break will come out from this innermost loop. Okay, here you can see we have two loops, nested loops. Okay, so ideally if you write only break, okay, what it will do, it will come out from this innermost loop. But if you want to come out from the outermost loop also, at that time what you can do, you can specify the label like this. Okay, so this is known as the label break statement. Okay, and also you can have that continue with the label like this, that continue exit. This is also possible. So I hope this is clear. So this is the example of the label break and label continue. That's it for this video.